What's up, guys? This is episode 3 of Loyal Media. My name is Ali. I'm with Richie. What's up, Rich?
How's it going?
So in this podcast, we'll be talking about Patrick Mahomes getting paid and how will that impact Jamal Adams and his holdout that he's requested a trade. And the Yanks and Nets are back on the field. Let's see how the MLB season goes. We talk about it and we discuss it. Let's get started.
So yeah, obviously Patrick Mahomes gets the highest paid contract in all of sports,
Crazy.
over $500
Crazy.
million. We know Jamal Adams is looking at that. Both Texas boys, both MVPs in the Pro Bowl. So Jamal Adams wants his money, and this is another sign that Jamal Adams is telling Joe Douglas, like, yo, if you're not going to pay me, then trade me right now. And this is definitely going to affect the whole Jamal Adams saga because Christian McCaffrey was the only one at that draft class to get paid. So now that Patrick Mahomes got paid, I think Deshaun Watson is going to be up next. So now Jamal Adams is looking at that and saying, see, like, coronavirus isn't really holding back the Chiefs for giving $500 million. So where's my money? But then at the same time,
You ain't a Super Bowl champion, though. You ain't.
Yeah. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is worth every single penny. And I can't believe he got signed to a 10-year extension. That just blows my mind. That's like baseball money. But I saw something that Jamal Adams came out with. It was like an Instagram comment. It's weird how we're getting those news nowadays. But I think Jamal said something that it's not really more about the money. He just wants to win. So I'm not really sold on what Jamal Adams' mindset is right now. It's either he wants to get paid or he wants to win. So which one do you think it is?
I think it's more of I don't think he knows what he wants. I feel like he wants to be home. He wants to go away from, but he also wants to be respected. I feel he wants to be respected by the team, but I feel like the team has, from what we know so far, the team has respected him. You know, on media, they've respected him, said really kind words. Joe Douglas has came up and said all these nice things about him. Greg Williams also did. Adam Gase also did. So I don't know how much he wants from the team. I don't know exactly what maybe in the back, behind the scenes, something happened that he was very angry about that we do not know about. But I think it's more about respect. But if he's trying to be needy about the money part, look, Patrick Mahomes, if you look at Patrick Mahomes, he's not even compared to Jamal Adams right now. You can't compare a quarterback and a safety. You can't. You just can't. And Patrick Mahomes' deal is because he just won a Super Bowl at 23. I think he's 23 years old.
24, yeah.
24. Yeah, he's still very, very young. So, and he has 10 years, and he set the highest. I think quarterbacks are going to be paid that in a couple of years anyways. I think this deal is just starting the deal, so everyone's crazy about it. But everyone's going to get these big deals, Deshaun Watson, and hopefully like Sam Darnold can get it later on if he succeeds for us. But Jamal Adams has a different standard as a safety. That position's completely different. So he's just gotta figure out if the Jets just disrespected him in a way and he got hurt by that, or he's just homesick and he just wants to go home and be with his family and be in his hometown again. So it's up to Jamal to clearly say the message rather than put it on Instagram comments. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I really hope a communication with Jamal Adams and Joe Douglas starts brewing. I mean, obviously, us as fans, we're not going to know what's going on behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping Joe Douglas is getting on the phone with Jamal and really asking him, like, listen, Jamal, we want you here long term. We want to give you the money, but just not right now. So where are you at? And then Jamal's probably going to tell him, like, listen, I don't want to be here because I don't think that we're set to win. And he doesn't want to waste his best years on a team that's not going to win in 2020. Being realistic, I don't really see this Jets 2020 team competing for the Super Bowl. And I think Jamal Adams sees that, and he's kind of sick of it. He's been on the Jets for 3 years, and they've been pretty bad for the past 3 years. So I don't blame him on that aspect. But at the same time, a true leader, a guy that's a culture changer, does not give up. He's a guy that is supposed to galvanize the group and bring that team to the next level and bring him to becoming a competing guy. And I always looked at Jamal Adams as that guy to really elevate this defense to become like elite consistently and have that leadership quality. But obviously he's becoming more selfish in terms of, I just want to do what's best for me. I want my money. I want to go to a team that's going to win. And it's really frustrating because what Joe Douglas is doing, he's building this team for long-term success. He understands that it does not take one offseason to build a winner. That's what Mike Maccagnan's problem was. He would go out and spend so much money in the offseason just to try to save his job, and it would just make the Jets go backwards 2 years. What Joe Douglas is doing, he's being smart with his money. He's building for the future. He's looking forward. His forward thinking is going to help this Jets team. He's looking at the 2022 year and 2023, and that's where I really think the Jets are going to be succeeding at the most. And I think Jamal Adams sees that. And he's like, you know what? I see what Joe Douglas is doing, and he's not putting all the bread in his basket for 2020, and that does not sit with me right. I want to win right now. I'm entering the prime of my career into the fourth season of my career, and I never know when I'm going to get hurt. So he either wants to get traded for that, or it's just the money. So it's really up in the air. We don't know. Only Jamal Adams knows what's going on, but I really hope this all gets squared up. And like we've said multiple times in this podcast before, the Jets hold all the leverage. So if Joe Douglas just sits back, doesn't do a thing, Jamal Adams has to come to training camp eventually. He has to play for the Jets, and that's going to be really interesting because Joe Douglas has to deal with that. And we don't want somebody on the team who just doesn't want to be on the Jets. I don't really want somebody suiting up in the green and white and black and not want to be a Jet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. In that same comment that we mentioned earlier, he pretty much mentioned all those things. He mentioned that he doesn't want to be in the rebuild anymore. He wants to go win. He said also how he wants to he doesn't know when it could be his last down of football and he wants to get paid. And that's another reason he said. And he just pretty much said he has love for Jet Nation, but he hasn't. That's the one thing I'm kind of questioning about. Do you really have love for Jet Nation when you pretty much have not given a formal message to your fans and who've been with you since draft day? There's been people that have been supporting you, going to events with you through off season, people commenting on your page. Now people are hating you because you're not talking to them directly. You're talking to the front office and trying to take shots at them instead of talking to the fans, because that's not the fans' fault, right? So no, it's not. If something went wrong in the front office, it's not the fans' fault. It would be the front office's fault. So stop blaming the fans for the front office excuses. The Jet fans have been going through a lot for years, for years. And I get that people message me all the time, and I get maybe 10 messages every day saying that we've been through a lot. And people are just pissed off at him. It's just not right of what he's doing. I can see what he's trying to say, but there's always a better way to say something, and he just hasn't done that.
Yeah, really. It just comes down to Jamal Adams just being completely truth. I wish he could just come out with a statement and give everybody the truth, because there is something that we all don't know that happened behind the scenes, whether it was Adam Gase or whether it's simply what happened in that trade deadline that just didn't sit with him well with the whole Joe Douglas answering calls. So obviously something is going on with Jamal that we don't know about, and I think it'll all get squared away pretty soon, because this is a huge test for Joe Douglas, and hopefully he will come out of this on the brighter side.
I think it's the biggest test.
Yeah, biggest test. It is his biggest test, but his first offseason he had to do a virtual draft and virtual free agent. That wasn't easy, and I think he handled that well, but this is definitely a huge test for Joe Douglas. Absolutely. So we're going to transition from the Jets and talk about baseball. So the New York Mets and the New York Yankees have been in training camp for the past couple weeks, and opening day is set to open up on July 24th, I believe. So 23rd. Yeah. So this is super exciting for me. I'm a big baseball fan. Me personally, I'm a Mets fan. And I think, Ali, you're a Yankees fan, right?
Yeah. I'm not a huge baseball fan, but if I had to choose, it has to be the Yankees. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think both teams are set to succeed this season, especially for the Mets, because the Mets' biggest problem all these years was injuries. And they've always been really good off the gate. And then all of a sudden, midway through the season, the Mets just forget how to play baseball and they just don't do anything because they're hurt. So I think the shortened season really might be a positive for the Mets, because it really does not there's not a lot of time for people to get injured. And now there's a universal DH, so the Mets will have a DH as well as the Yankees have had for their whole history. So I think the Yankees are going to be a powerhouse. I think they're the favorites to come out of the American League. And the Mets division is going to be really tough. The Philadelphia Phillies, former World Series champion Nationals, the Braves. It's a really, really tough division. And actually the Mets and Yankees will be playing a lot this year because they're not traveling out of the East Coast. So the Mets are going to be versus the AL East. The Yankees are going to be versus the NL East. So it's really going to be all about who's going to be coming out of the East. So what are your expectations for the Yankees?
I'm more worried about, I feel like the Yankees and Mets are both going to be fun to watch, obviously. They're both New York teams, and obviously New York fans are going to want watch that rivalry of the Yankees and Mets. But the one thing I'm concerned about is the COVID-19, all that stuff,
Oh yeah.
coronavirus, especially with this being like the first sport going live in America. There's a lot of tests. Even in the Yankees, people are getting sick already and tested positive for corona. So it's gonna be interesting how MLB responds to all that stuff. I don't think they're allowing fans or anything, right? I
No.
think they're gonna be empty stadiums. So it's gonna be interesting to see, like, if on their travel to another state, how is it gonna be like that? Are they gonna just somehow get corona out of nowhere, because they're definitely gonna get tested before they enter the stadium every time they go to a new stadium. So, there's gonna be a lot of challenges for all teams in basketball,
Oh yeah.
football, if there's even football season. So it's going to be interesting how the MLB, because then I feel like NBA and NFL are going to look up to see what MLB did and see if they did it correctly. And hopefully NFL can learn from what MLB is doing as well.
Yeah, the MLB commissioner, it took him a while to finally get a game plan, and luckily he did come out and he created a whole 60-game shortened season, and they're all ready to go. So MLB will be the first sport to start during this pandemic, so they will definitely be the guinea pigs in this whole situation. NBA is right behind them. We got some players already reporting to Disney World, and my Knicks won't be there, as embarrassing as it is. But the Brooklyn Nets actually went out and signed Jamal Crawford and Michael Beasley. So that's actually interesting for the Nets. There's a lot of players that are not playing for the Nets. Spencer Dinwiddie's not playing. Obviously, Kyrie isn't. KD isn't. A lot of players on the Nets have had the coronavirus. So Brooklyn Nets is going to be another interesting team in Orlando. But I'm watching my Knicks in the losers bracket in September. That's how bad they are. They're one of the 8 teams that are not invited to Orlando. Definitely embarrassing, but I'm definitely going to watch them still. So it's really exciting to see sports somehow coming back. I know the coronavirus is still spiking up around the world, around the country, excuse me. New York and New Jersey area right now, we're like in the chill right now because we went through hell in April, but it's still going to come back. But it's really unfortunate that this country is getting hit this hard because it's not going to help this whole sports coming back, especially the NFL. So hopefully this can get squared away, and hopefully by August, the spike will drop. And I'm just trying to be optimistic because we need NFL football, man.
Yeah, I mean, we need sports in general, man.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just so boring without sports on TV, when you can just turn on this TV when you're eating dinner or like lunch and just have a game on.
Yeah.
And it just sucks. Like, it's been what, 4 or 5 months since we haven't seen any sporting event.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's just so sad. So hopefully everything goes well, and obviously players are at risk as well. So hopefully they stay well, and we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, if MLB does succeed and they're playing, like I love baseball because there's literally a game every single day. So
Yeah.
there's gonna be baseball on every day. I'm gonna be watching every game basically because I've missed sports so much. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, NBA is gonna be, I think, every day from 12 o'clock to 9 p.m. There's gonna be tip off. So there's gonna be games all day for basketball too. So we might go from no games at all to like every hour there's a new game coming on of some new sport. So hopefully everything goes well because we need sports, and
Yeah.
to get this podcast keep going a little bit more, we need sports to
Oh
talk
yeah,
about. So
absolutely. I can't wait to start actually talking about games instead of speculations and
yeah.
all off-season stuff. I can't wait to actually talk about games.
Yeah.
So let's jump into the questions that people ask you on your Instagram fan
All
page.
right. So asked by Connor Riley. He asks, "What's your Jets record prediction?"
My Jets record prediction. I actually made a video on this on my YouTube channel when the schedule dropped, and I'm pretty sure I had them. I was being a little optimistic. I had them around 7-9, 8-8. I think their floor is 6-10, and I think their ceiling is somewhere around 9-7. Their schedule is brutal. Even when we interviewed Vincent Smith, he said that, yeah, we have like the second toughest schedule in the league. And then Cam Newton goes to the Patriots, so now we probably have the toughest. We're going to be traveling out west a lot. We're going to be versing the NFC West, I believe, the 49ers and all of them.
Yep.
Seahawks, Rams, like those are tough teams. So it probably the biggest worry for me is traveling out west and snagging those victories over there. And obviously the division got more tough with Cam Newton. I still think the Bills might be the favorite, but I'm definitely not sleeping on the Patriots because the Patriots
Never sleep on Bill Belichick.
never. I mean, I do not think the dynasty's over yet. Just because Tom Brady's gone, Bill Belichick is still there. So this is going to be a very interesting season for the Jets. And I think what's going to make or break their season is if their offense can get clicking. Special teams there. I think the defense will be there. Is that offensive line going to protect Sam Darnold, and is it going to open up holes for Le'Veon Bell? If that's the case, then we really have a chance to maybe sneak into the wild card at a nice 8-8 record. So my prediction, being a little optimistic, is 8-8. What about you?
All right. So let's go down the schedule right now. So at Buffalo, I think we get the win in Buffalo. Sam Darnold succeeded in Buffalo and
redemption from last year.
Yeah, so I think you got the win there. 49ers are lost at home. I feel like we could sneak that. I feel like it'll be a closer game than most people think.
Yeah.
Because it's the first home game.
I think that's going to be a defensive game.
Yeah, but I think the 49ers are just, they're more competitive than us.
Yeah, I can't sit here and tell you the Jets are going to beat the 49ers. That would be some Super Bowl. So that's a loss.
Yeah. Colts, I think we could beat in Indy because we had a really good record against Andrew Luck. So I think we were 2-1 against Andrew Luck. So I think we can beat Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, it's weird that Phillip Rivers is their QB.
Yeah, it is weird. Denver, I think that's a loss.
Yeah, that's a Thursday night game. So I think Sam Darnold could go on Thursday night and just go off against Drew Luck.
I swear, like primetime games scare me, man. Now, after the Ghost, I pretty much kind of hate primetime games. I'd rather not do primetime games.
Yeah,
to be honest.
We're actually versing the Patriots again on Monday Night Football at home. So it's literally the Ghost game all over again. I'm not looking forward to that.
Hopefully Darnold can redeem himself. So
yeah.
Darnold didn't even play that game. Well, the other Patriots game. But,
yeah, he played. He won against the Patriots once and got embarrassed.
And then the Cardinals are mad good. I think they're gonna. They have Hopkins now.
Yeah,
like it's gonna be.
Kyler
their
Murray
offense is crazy.
I think we have the defense to shut them down though, so that could be up in the air.
Yeah, but I feel like the Cardinals. It's just if we don't even have Jamal Adams. Think about if we don't even have Jamal Adams on that defense.
Yeah, that's gonna be just an offensive shootout. I think if
our offense Cardinals can defense. Produce.
Yeah, if the Cardinals defense, I think that's a liability. So I think the Jets offense could put up some points. So it's just a matter of who's going to put up more points. I think the Jets have potential to go on top, but it's definitely going to be a tough game.
All right, so I got 2-2 right now.
Okay.
Now we go to Los Angeles to play the Los Angeles Chargers.
See, that's a winnable game, but it's in LA.
It's a toss-up. It's a toss-up, but I would say loss.
Yeah,
there.
Loss.
And then so it's 2-3. Buffalo, I think we lose that game.
Yeah, we're gonna split it.
We're gonna split with Buffalo. We can actually beat them twice. So it's gonna be 2-4. Then the Chiefs that's an automatic loss.
Nah, we're beating Mahomes. What do you mean? Nah, yeah, that's a loss for sure.
And then the Patriots Monday night.
We're redeeming ourselves. Nah, Sam Darnold proving all the haters wrong, and Cam Newton's gonna be seeing ghosts. I'm telling you, bro.
Is Cam Newton even a lock for the quarterback position?
I heard that Jarrett Stidham is like the front runner.
He's not a lock. I feel like people are overhyping Cam Newton a little bit.
He looks really bad.
Newton. I love Cam Newton, but like he's not a lock, and people are thinking, oh, Super Bowl. Patriot fans think they're already Super Bowl champs. So I don't know. That's how Patriot fans are, but
yeah.
And then we play the Dolphins.
That's a win.
I think that's a win in Miami, and then we got our bye, and then we play the Dolphins again. That's really interesting.
So
we got 2 wins. We got to sweep the Dolphins. If we can't sweep the Dolphins, we should just end the season right there.
Yeah, seriously.
Las Vegas Raiders. I think we can beat the Raiders.
Yeah, we creamed them last year.
Rams. We could beat the Rams, actually.
Mm-hmm.
The Rams are really bad. Jared Goff's a horrible quarterback.
He's just a system QB.
Yeah, he's just not good.
Sean McVay's an excellent coach, and I think that's why they went to the Super Bowl.
They were able to win. And he had Brandon Cooks. They had these all-star, like, receivers.
Great O-line, Todd Gurley.
Cooper Kupp, he was my fantasy guy. Cleveland Browns. I think the Browns could.
We're going to win. I think last year, I really believe if Sam Darnold was healthy, in that Monday night game, we easily could have, not easily, I don't want to say that, but we definitely could have beat the Browns because our defense was locking them down. We had that one miscommunication when Odell took it like 80 yards to the house.
Yeah.
But like I still think if Darnold was playing, we easily could have put up more points than and won that game. So I'm
Yeah, they
chalking this up
played
as a
pretty
W.
bad. They pretty bad even when
Yeah,
Darnold was out. They didn't take
exactly.
the lead until the second half, I think. So, and I forgot to mention Seattle. Seattle, I think Seattle's a loss.
Yeah, for sure.
We can't beat them. So, and then we got New England last game of the season.
All right, we're beating New England one of the two. So I know
I don't know if we're gonna beat them in the Foxborough.
Yeah, we beat them in Monday night. We're gonna lose in Foxborough. So what's our record? What was that? 6-10 that we have, or 7-9?
So we did Buffalo win, Colts win. Did we say Chargers win?
Yeah.
Chargers win. Both Dolphin win, so that's 5 wins. Raiders win. Rams win. So 8 and 8.
8-8. There we go. So if the Jets can come out in 8-8, I'm satisfied. I mean, we were 7-9 last year, and we started the year 1-7. It still blows my mind how we were 8-8 last year, but I mean 7-9. Excuse me.
I think it's just all up to Adam Gase, man. It goes back all the way to Adam Gase. I think we have the playmakers. I think Sam Darnold will have surprise a lot of people if he can play the full season. And I think Sam Darnold has working his ass off in camp. If you saw the video yesterday, he posted of him, on the run. He's been amazing on the run. Some people are like, why is he always running around? Because he doesn't have an offensive line. He's used to not having an offensive line and not having enough time to find his wide receivers or anything like that. So that's why he's practicing that, and he excels at it. So, use that as an advantage. So hopefully he'll have more pocket room this season with the new offensive line. And, hopefully we can go 8-8 and make playoffs, but we'll see. It's hard to be optimistic about this team.
Yeah, true that.
All right, next question by RJ. I can't pronounce the last name, but Sarita. He said, besides Darnold, who is the player that you are most excited for the future?
That's a good question. Denzel Mims, I think. I think he's the future of this offense. I think the Jets haven't drafted a potential number 1 receiver since – I don't think ever in my lifetime, honestly. I mean, all these wide receivers we drafted have been busts. Darius Stewart, Chad Hansen. Oh, God, I'm going to throw up thinking about those names. So we haven't really had a number 1 guy.
I actually like Chad Hansen, though. I like Chad Hansen a lot.
Yeah, I like the draft pick, but he did absolutely nothing on the Jets. And then he got signed to the Patriots and did nothing.
Remember Devin Smith?
Yeah, Devin Smith was a second-round pick. He was our highest draft pick since Denzel Mims. So Brandon Marshall was the last, quote-unquote, number 1 receiver on this Jets team, and he was already established. He was a veteran. That's not like a Jet, I think Denzel Mims is a guy that we drafted ourselves that we can groom, and he can be the future of this Jets offense. Sam Darnold has not had a receiver where he can just chuck the ball up in the back of the end zone and go up and make that 50-50 catch. So I think Denzel Mims is going to be the future of this Jets offense.
I would have to say if he stays healthy, Chris Herndon, I think the connection between Sam Darnold and Chris Herndon you saw in multiple games when Chris Herndon and Sam Darnold were on the field together healthy, it was a different team. It was a different offense. Sam Darnold loves Chris Herndon. And, tight end, the same thing how you can compare Tom Brady to Gronk. I'm not comparing them, but Tom Brady loved Gronk, and that's how Darnold liked Herndon. So I think if Chris Herndon can stay healthy, I think he can be a big asset for Darnold in the future and for the Jets. And, it'll be interesting to see if he can stay healthy and hopefully succeed.
Yeah, I think Chris Herndon has potential to become top 5 tight end in this league, to be honest. I mean, his rookie season as a 4th-round rookie was pretty spectacular. Mm-hmm. And that one-handed catch against the Packers showed that he has some spectacular catches in him, and he has that chemistry with Darnold. So if he can be on the field, not get suspended, not get injured, I think the sky's the limit for Herndon.
All right, last question. It was asked by James Thormill. Who do you guys think is the most underrated signing in this free agency for the Jets?
Good question. Underrated signing. I would have to say Connor McGovern, because that is going to be the most important position on this offensive line. Some people think left tackle is most important because they're protecting the blind side and you're getting paid the most. That's a premium position. But the Jets have lacked a center ever since Nick Mangold. And the Jets have been known to have that rock of the center, Kevin Maway and then Nick Mangold. And I think the center position is the most important because they're the communicator. They're the core that communicates the guys, get people lined up. He's obviously snapping it to the quarterback. You need to have fluent snaps. So I think Connor McGovern is going to be the most important signing from Joe Douglas because if he is healthy and playing at a high level, he's going to elevate this Jets offensive line. And this offensive line is the biggest X factor when it comes to this Jets offense. If the O-line is there, the offense will click. Darnold will be slinging the rock. Le'Veon Bell will be rushing for 1,000 yards. I'm telling you. So my answer is Connor McGovern.
Definitely, I think offensive line is important, but I'm going to go on the defensive side and say BRDCR. I think, from Indy, after coming off the injury, people kind of overlooked him. And, he was able to handle DeAndre Hopkins. That's what's eye-popping to me. With the Jets losing Tremaine Johnson, Darryl Roberts, Jets need new cornerbacks. And with Bless Austin, hopefully, in my eyes, could be a cornerback one. They need another cornerback. And I think Pierre this year could do that. And I think like I said earlier in the other podcasts, it's going to be open competition at cornerback. It's going to be Bryce Hall, all these guys competing for a cornerback spot. But I think Pierre this year has the experience. I think he has a fresh start in New York. And I think he could be a guy that Greg Williams loves to use. And, he has that dog in him that people love to see. And, that's what you need on defense. And I think he can be the guy that can be the X factor for the Jets defense.
Yeah, I think I'm so happy the Jets went out and got him. He wasn't a free agent going into this offseason. The Colts surprisingly cut him because he had an injury-riddled season in 2019, and they kind of switched schemes on him. He's more of a man-to-man type of guy, and Colts switched to his zone scheme, and that's not where he's comfortable. So that's why I think he's a perfect fit in Greg Williams' scheme. Greg Williams loves man-to-man. He loves physical, long corners. So I think him and Bless Austin are going to be that number 1 and 2 CBs in 2020. And I think those two guys are going to be really good with Brian Poole in the slot. Mm-hmm. Definitely upgrades over Tremaine Johnson and Darryl Roberts. I mean, they were just terrible. Like, I think anybody's an upgrade over those two guys. So, yeah, I agree. Pierre Desir is definitely an underrated signing from Joe Douglas.
All right. Any last comments for you to end the podcast?
No, yeah. So that really does it for episode 3 of Loyal Media Sports Podcast. And stay tuned for future podcasts. We're trying to get as many guests as we can on. We have special guests lined up. So make sure you hit that subscribe button on Apple. You add us on Spotify, and you hit that subscribe button if you're watching this on YouTube. So, yeah.
Again, if you guys want to ask more questions to us, DM us at Loyal NY Fans or in New York Jets Media. And you can just tell us and we'll air on it. If you want to be a guest on the show, let us know and we can try to set something up as well. We're always, during the off season, we're trying to find stuff to do. So if you are a very dedicated sports fan, just hit us up and we'll try to make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to have fans on here. Doesn't have to be any big time guests. We want to get as much as the fans involved because me and Ali are just fans just like you guys. And we want to utilize our platform to talk Jets football, talk New York sports in general. So, yeah, if you guys want to hop on the show, shoot me or Ali in a DM, and we'll love to coordinate that.
All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. See you guys next week.
All right. Take care, guys, and we'll see you next week.